Hey, what is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? We are back for another Two Young Pastors podcast episode. My name is Jawan Sanders, and I'm joined by my friend and my fellow pastor, Elijah Stanley. And listen, in this episode, what we're going to be talking about is a major transition that will be taking place on this platform, on this podcast platform. We've come a very long way. We've come a very long way with what we've been able to really achieve so far. And we've been doing this for over a year now. So
Yeah.
if you are interested in hearing about, some of the changes that's going to be taking place within this podcast, some changes that are tied to our ethos, others that are tied to, um, how we are growing as pastors. Then this is the episode where you want to make sure that you find out all that important information.
Yeah.
Without that being said, let's hop in. Let's hop in. Uh, Pastor, how are you feeling today, man?
Feeling good. It's been a a unusual year. I'm gonna put it that way. A unusual year of transition, of shifting. So I think having this conversation right now, man, is great because it kind of fits within the theme of the year for me so far.
Yeah.
Uh, how about you, man?
Dude, I feel the same. I can't really call it unusual for me anymore. I think I my unusual season was last year, and
Mm,
I'm still picking up the pieces. And when I say unusual, not with the typical negative baggage that comes along with that.
right, right, right.
Although there were challenges, any transition, there are challenges. But more than anything else, it was just a major year with new things coming.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, dude, right now, like I said in the last episode, or two episodes ago, really just getting back into the swing of work life after being off for some time in honeymoon mode, and so
Yeah.
this is a major part of that. This is a major part of that. So feeling good. But hey, man, we've been podcasting for a little bit over a year now.
Hmm.
And not just podcasting, but publishing episodes for
That's
over
true. Yeah.
a year now. And I guess as we kind of sort of begin reflecting, what has the journey been like for you so far?
It's been not to use the same word that you just used. Dude, I'm not sure if you saw that Cam Newton interview with Lady London um on they like posted on Instagram, and she like asks him um she asks him like a question, and then he's like, Can I use a word I've already used before?" And then
Yeah.
he goes on to, like, make up a word,
Oh,
and then she catches him, and then she, like, calls him out, and it's the funniest awkward thing ever. So I was about to make up a word, but
that's all right. Pastors do it all the time when they preach.
yeah, I did that once, man. I did that once. I did that once. That's another story. Uh, I I feel like the whole process has been a learning experience, man. Like, if you are ever thinking, and maybe that's how, like, I'll couch my perspective, right? If you're thinking about creating a podcast, right? Uh, go into it, like, first of all, do it, right? Like, it's the whole experience. It's free basically, right? If you have your phone, it's free.
Yeah.
Um, and like publish those episodes, and in those, man, like I've learned a lot of things in terms of tech. I've learned a lot of things of do's and don'ts, and I've also learned that a lot of our friends are very supportive too, like like Jelani, who him and Tom Miner. Tom Miner.
Here
For some dude, I was thinking about Mike Tomlin, bro. I was thinking about
I didn't want you to say another name, and then I'll be like, "Oh, not him." Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Miner. Like I had the Steelers head coach in my brain.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
Football brain.
they shared with us some amazing things at the beginning, and I wasn't expecting it. And
Yeah.
then even from our pastors in our area that
Them too.
we're we're sharing. They're like, "Hey, the quality of your episodes, and just make sure that you keep publishing them." And that was such an encouragement, right? Because they number one did not have to do that. Like Tom and Jelani called me at like 9 o'clock one night, and they gave me like a rundown, and I shared with you, right, all the different things that in their expertise, right, things that we can do. And to be honest, man, it's been a, a great shift, right,
Yeah.
from our first episodes to now, where it seems like we're a year in plus, we're getting a hang of it. Talking about a year in plus, man. Um, we also, I think I had Jelani, the exact same guy, say, "Dude, I thought that y'all would have stopped podcast by now, because most people stop after like five,
Yeah.
6 episodes, right? Because
Yeah.
they realize that it's not easy. You have to take time out of your schedule. You have to publish. There's graphics. There's a whole bunch of things in the background that happen. It's not just us sitting and talking,
Yeah.
right? So it was real. So hearing that, I was like, listen, mission accomplished. We've been publishing for a while. And I think they're quality episodes if people listen to them. And man, we hit over 100 subs on YouTube, which I think is like a which is a amazing thing.
Yeah.
Because people don't have to sub to us, and we're hitting milestones on our actual podcasting feeds, right? So it's been a really good experience, man. It's been challenging. It's been um um uh what's the other word? Not only challenging, but it's been a rewarding experience. Uh,
Mhm.
uh I'll use that word. But how about you, man?
Yeah, dude. As you were talking, I like really I just went just to see how many episodes we published. And I saw that we had 53 episodes up to date. And so it's kind of like, wow, it's crazy that we did all of that. Because you don't really think about the fact that we did all of that in such a time. But more than grateful that we did, because it's a good sign that there is some consistency. And despite the busy times that have come up in life, we still found a way to come back to it.
Mhm,
I think one of the things that really stuck out to me, feedback. One of the challenging but crucial parts of this is receiving feedback. Because not too many people want to receive feedback.
yeah,
I know I
yeah.
don't always want to receive feedback, especially when it's not like singing my praises and things like that. Um,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
but being told, "Hey, y'all are long-winded, you are long-winded," and when I say you, I'm meaning me. It's just like, ah, ah. And, Tiff, it's feedback that it helps you grow, right?
Mhm,
Feedback that helps you grow, which is beneficial. And so not only has this experience been challenging, it's been challenging because it's been humbling,
mhm,
um, so that individuals can teach you how to become even more effective in this. Because no matter what, you want individuals to listen to what you're going to say. We're
mhm,
doing this because we're trying to build a community that is interested in listening to the things that we have to say. And
mhm,
here's an additional thing that I'll say. Um, Another reflective part is the balance between, should we do what is authentic to us and make sure that we just stay um, in our lane and cater to creating an audience, based on who we are and what we're really about, or do we want to like grow?
Mhm.
And because we want to grow, there are certain angles that we'll take, or there are certain topics that we'll discuss because it leads to more growth.
Yeah.
And I think, throughout the year plus that we've really had an opportunity to do this, I think it's given me the opportunity to be like, hey, I think it's better to be authentic, and for us to find our people, for our people to find us, so that if and when more popularity does come, right? At least we know that we've been true and honest throughout.
Mhm.
And I say this because real quick, I don't know if been seeing it, but on Facebook, recently there was an individual who recently talked about their testimony of denouncing their sorority, their Divine Nine, right?
No, I don't know.
Fraternities, sororities, they existed forever. But especially like in the black community, you got the Divine Nine,
Mhm.
okay? And uh Adventists don't believe in, or they condone secret societies, right? I don't really know if you can really call the Divine Nine secret societies, but at some Adventists do, some black Adventists do. So what ends up happening is that this topic is one that's just been really big. The podcaster who posted this episode got a whole lot of like traction
Yeah.
immediately. It's a lot of trigger words. It's a lot of trigger words. And so, like it's a lot of people saying, see, this is why God, you know, made it so that I didn't join an org. This every time I wanted to, something always ended up happening that didn't allow me to, right? And so it attracted a whole lot of attention. And see, what's interesting is that a couple of days later, there was a nice lady who revealed that some podcasters, they grift based on what is popular or based on what draws the most attention.
Mm.
And what they realized is that whenever they would create episodes about demons or witchcraft, it would always have a rather large following or response.
That's
And
interesting.
so, because that had such a large following and a large response, they ended up creating episodes that catered to that audience
Mhm.
rather than staying true to their vision, staying true to their mission. They shifted. And so, dude, I think for me, I'm learning that, hey, I want to be able to intersect culture, and I want to be able to intersect spirituality,
Mhm.
Christian spirituality, to be specific. And I'm not interested in trying to appeal to any one group. I know I have a very nuanced way of looking at Christianity and
Yeah.
spirituality as a pastor, as a Seventh Day Adventist theologian. There's a view, there's a lens that I have that is unique, and
Mhm.
not everyone will agree with. But I think it's balance. I
Mhm.
do my best to try to be as balanced as possible, as studied as possible, so that we can have conversations that actually push the needle forward and not just get into culture war topics or culture war debates. And so I think that that's something that has been very
Yeah.
crucial for
Yeah.
me and what I'm learning in this space. So that's why I can say, bro, it's been really rewarding.
Mhm.
But speaking of rewarding, we have an opportunity to really continue to chart a course forward for this space. And so, bro, what are you excited about? What do you what news can we share with people that we can say, hey, we're excited about as we are really setting the course or setting the
Mhm.
tone for 2026?
Yeah, man. This so like this kind of sounds like our podcast, State of the Union. Where
Probably
like
better than the one that took place a couple of days ago, the real State of the Union.
yeah, we're showing, hey, the union is strong, right? And then here's what we're gonna do next. Um, I'm excited, man, because I see not only our engagement going up, but also I see, um, like I think we're the uh, this is like a view, right, of saying like of this is the worst that will be. Um, and what that means is that there's only upside from here, right? Because we've learned lessons, we've gotten feedback, we've been able to put things I in order.
Yeah.
So, um, um, like, I'm I'm looking forward to what that next step for us is, and you're right, like, we've had hard conversations and saying, "Hey, we're not gonna to to, um, to placate, you know, this audience here, and we're not going to always look at the numbers, right? But we're always going to say, hey, this is what is important to you and me. And then there are times, right, where we go, hey, if this is a thing that you want to talk about, let's go, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that organicness is something I'm continuing to look forward to, knowing that um, we're being honest with ourselves and we're being honest with people that are listening and watching.
Yeah.
Um,
Very
uh,
true.
yeah, I'm remembering one comment from one of our last videos that was like, "I'm so happy that this came by my way," right? And uh, that was probably one of, I guess, a few comments that I am starting to remember that were good, or that were affirmation, right, in nature. Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that we both are getting older, and I think the young part of our title, I I always hear people, well, I feel young. I might not look young, right? And I think for our podcast, right? You know, we we have been thinking, right, about shifts that come as we are growing. You're married, you know, when we started the podcast, you were dating, I was single. Um, Now you're married. Now I'm in a very committed relationship, right, on the way to marriage.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. Uh, and so a lot, a lot can change in in a in a short while.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude,
But
yes,
yeah,
and not only can it change, it has changed, we both started off being, assistant pastors.
hmm
We have graduated. We're both ordained ministers of the
yeah,
Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm a senior pastor. You're on your way. And the reality is, we're not uh, as young. Crazy thing is that for pastors, we're still young,
we're
right? We're
still
still
young.
young,
Yeah,
but we're getting old. We're getting old. The bones don't move the same way they used to. The metabolism is slowing down. It is slowing down.
it got
Uh,
shot, bro. It got shot.
right?
It
Woo! The gray hairs are starting to come for on me. So because of that, folks, we wanna share here. One of the things that we are excited about is a name change. Okay, we are excited that we are indeed shifting gears with a name change. We're not going to announce what the name change is just yet, but we are extremely excited that our podcast will no longer be called the Two Young Pastors. Okay, we're still young, we get it, but we recognize that it's limiting because to a certain extent, we're not going to be young forever.
Mhm,
And the reality is people look at young pastors in a certain light. They look at
mhm,
young pastors in a certain light. The reality is that there are several individuals who, when younger pastors come to their church, um, they have an opinion of, hey, what can this person teach me? What they haven't lived as long as I have. What can
Mhm.
they reveal to me? So we recognize that there are certain limitations, and yes, we are trying to primarily reach a younger audience, but we recognize that because we're not as young, that should be reflected even in the title of the podcast.
Right.
Um, while we still aim to um, indeed discuss topics that are relevant to society and probably even put some Christians who may not be in the mix of pop culture that much on game. We recognize that, hey, we want to expand the audience that we are able to reach. And we also want to mature this space. And so you'll see that part of the name change. What would you add to that, Elijah?
No, man, that's about it. Like we realize, number 1, where we are, number 2, where we wanna go, right? And, to give a little bit of strategy, right? Like, we spent a lot of our first season talking about, us, right? Our thoughts, our views, getting people to get to know us. And if you have been in the podcasting world, we haven't interviewed anyone in our first season, and that was by purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like we were making sure that we had a connection with you that were listening and watching. And that kind of gives you, that's like looking behind the curtain a bit, right? About some of the decisions that we made. And as we kind of look forward and seeing, what this next step, we're like intentionally planning and seeing. And one of the things that popped up, right, was like, hey, we're not age wise that young anymore, right? And ministry wise, we're kind of what, five and a half, 5 years in, right? And we realized that that is not that that's not old, but that's approaching not young, right? And we don't want to give the impression, right? If you see the podcast and the name, right, it's like, oh, um, um, it does not reflect, right, our current state of ministry, and we wanted to make sure that we're being honest and authentic. And the worst thing that older individuals can do is try to be young when they don't have to be, right? Uh,
Yeah, that's funny. And so with that being said, listen, we have just a few more episodes for essentially volume one of our podcast. Typically there are different seasons that podcasts have. This has been a very long first season. But we're not calling it seasons, we're calling it volumes. This has been a rather long volume. But and volume number two, what you can expect to see, one, more faces.
mhm.
Um, we are welcoming more individuals into this space to really have conversations with us. As you know, we're not experts on a lot of things, right? As pastors, especially in the Adventist context, we're actually challenged, we're gifted with really becoming a jack of all trades, right? Not really having the opportunity to really master one particular thing. Obviously, there are certain things that we are great at, right? Elijah, I'm not going to share what it is
Yeah.
that he's good at, but I know that I can share what it is that I'm good at. I love decor. I love decor. I like
Mm,
if you were to talk to me if about decor, I could set you up. I can help you. It'll be a blessing to you, and you'll be like, "Dang, like this is really good. This is
yeah.
really like
As you can tell by our backgrounds, right? Like you got
yeah, like this is real. This isn't like a setup." And so that's one of the things that
yeah.
I've become really good at, right? But as a pastor on the job,
You made it seem like I have like a bad hobby, man. You can't share it.
so
I'm good with finances.
I didn't want to say it because
Yeah.
I didn't want
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I
So
appreciate
so
that.
yes, we do have personal things that we're great at, but on the job, we're challenged to be so many different things: to be counselor, to
Mhm.
be vision caster, to be preacher, Bible study instructor, administrator. We wear so many different hats, and so because of that, we become generalists in many
Mhm.
ways. Yet there are some individuals who probably have more expertise than we do,
Mhm.
who have more knowledge than we do. And if there's anything that I learned, Elijah, after going to seminary, it's that I know less of what I thought I knew.
Yeah.
Like high school, I was like, man, I know what I know what I know. Went to
Mhm.
college, and I was like, I think what I knew has been refined.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then seminary, it was just like, oh, you really don't know how much you don't know. You
No. No.
like, and so that's extremely important, especially as believers. The truth is that many of us perish because of a lack of knowledge, and many of us we perish because we think we know what we actually don't know.
Mhm.
We're going to be inviting different individuals on, one, for you to learn their stories, especially pastors. We want to bring more pastors on. We want you to learn their stories. We want you to hear about ministry, about culture from their perspective.
Mhm.
You'll be able to be poured into as we have been poured into by various pastors. And so we really hope that that's something that you can get excited about. Because we're excited about it. Like, we're
Ooh, I'm
really excited about the pastors who are going to be coming through and who are going to be sharing parts of their stories, parts of their perspective on various things. And because it's an open space, we're trying to make it so that pastors can share things that sometimes are a little bit transgressive. Okay, you're not always. It's not just going to be the cookie cutter Adventist uh, things. It
What do you
sometimes,
love about Jesus? What do you love
yeah,
about the church? Yeah. Yeah.
we're talking about culture, right? And
Mhm.
so there are certain pastors who believe that, hey, there's a particular angle that the church should take to meet people where they are, and
Mhm.
sometimes that might not jive well with what you believe. But don't turn it off. Hear what they have to say,
Mhm.
critique it, see the validity in it, and as people often say, chew the meat, spit out the bones.
Mhm.
Okay, make sure you do that. So expect a name change. All right, expect a name change, and just a couple episodes. Okay, just a couple episodes. We want to say it now. We want to get ready to start saying it now. So when we actually go live with it, there are no whoa, what happened?
Ooh, what happened? Yeah.
So yeah. So Elijah, anything else that you'd like to add on to that, or are we
That's
good?
about it, y'all. Appreciate the support, the viewership, the watching, and again, if
For
this has
listening.
been the listening, that's right. And if you have uh gained anything from it, listen, put in the comments, share it, subscribe to it. I was looking at our numbers, and you know, about half of us are subscribed, half are not. So go ahead and subscribe. It'll help out a lot, with the algorithms and all that other stuff. But appreciate you. I'm looking forward to this volume 2 that will be dropping soon.
Have a good day, y'all. See y'all next time. Okay.
All right, guys.